The nurse set the small blue backpack on the chair beside me. "This was found at the scene," she said softly. I didn't answer. I couldn't. It looked ordinary. Cartoon patches, worn zippers, the faint smell of crayons and dirt. My nephew's backpack, 5 years old, now lying motionless in a coma, machines breathing for him. I reached for it with hands that didn't feel like mine, unzipped it slowly. Inside was something I wasn't prepared to see. Papers tucked neatly into the front pocket, receipts, a folded envelope, a photograph that did not belong to a child's life, and a handwriting I knew. Not his, not innocent. My stomach turned, but my face remained stone. The nurse had already walked away. I was alone with it. The accident, the silence, the evidence staring back at me. For a long moment I only listened to the machine beside his bed, counting breaths. Then I knew. This wasn't an accident. It was a message. At first, denial tried to shield me. My mind repeated lies it wanted to believe. "You're tired. You're reading too much into it. Anyone could have written those words." But ink doesn't lie. Familiar slants in letters, sharp edges in a name. Her name, written beside a man's number. My brother's wife. My nephew's mother. And another man. I felt the betrayal settle in my chest, heavy and cold. The backpack had carried more than toys. It had carried proof. Quiet, damning proof. I thought of the accident, how she'd been strangely calm when she told me. No tears, no shaking voice, just a flat explanation. A car swerved. Bad luck. Fate. But this wasn't fate. This was arrangement. Carelessness wrapped in deceit. I pressed the photograph between my fingers until my nails bent. It showed them together. Her hand on his arm. Their smiles meant for each other, not for the child asleep behind me. Betrayal is never loud. It seeps in like poison. I said nothing to her that night. Instead, I went home, poured a glass of water, and opened my laptop. My hands moved without hesitation. Phone records, bank statements, digital footprints that people believe vanish but never do. She had left trails, small, thoughtless trails. A hotel charge here, a call at midnight there. Piece by piece, a second life assembled in front of me. Not just infidelity, financing, quiet transfers that suggested more. Every discovery burned, but I didn't allow myself to feel it fully. Not yet. Emotions are clumsy. Calculations are precise. Days passed. I visited my nephew in the hospital, sat by his bed, pretended normalcy. She sat across from me, sipping coffee, feigning grief. I studied her eyes. They avoided mine too often. I collected everything, stored it in a folder, printed only once, sealed it. Evidence should be physical, undeniable. Each night, lying awake, I rehearsed nothing. I didn't need to. Truth doesn't require rehearsal. The more I uncovered, the calmer I became. The storm inside me cooled into something sharper, a blade waiting to be drawn. The DNA test arrived in a plain envelope. My hand didn't tremble as I opened it. The boy wasn't my brother's son. Silence filled me, vast and unshakable. Betrayal layered upon betrayal, as if the universe wanted to see how much one man could carry. That evening, I set the envelope on the table in front of her. No words, just paper. She picked it up, eyes flicking, lips parting. Color drained from her face. "You knew?" she whispered. I didn't nod, didn't speak, just watched. Her panic grew in the vacuum of my silence. She stammered excuses, denial, then tears. I remained still, composed, like a man watching a building collapse in slow motion, knowing he had already stepped outside. The next morning I met my brother in the hospital corridor. I handed him the folder, every receipt, every record, the DNA results. I didn't add commentary. Truth doesn't need decoration. He read in silence, His hand shook once, then steadied. When she arrived later, he didn't speak to her, didn't even look. He just placed the folder in her lap and walked out of the room. Her eyes darted to me, desperate, searching for mercy. I gave her none. "Everything finds its way out," I said quietly. That was all. The machines in my nephew's room hummed steadily. His breathing was not his own, but it was still breathing. I thought of innocence, how easily it is shattered by the greed and betrayal of those meant to protect it. I no longer felt anger, only clarity. Betrayal doesn't destroy you when you see it clearly. It transforms you, hardens you, leaves you with the kind of silence that speaks louder than rage ever could. I touched the boy's small hand, cold but alive. He was not to blame. He never would be. As for her, she had already destroyed herself. I had only revealed the ruins. I stood, leaving the room, the weight finally gone. Some truths are too sharp to forgive, and some people are too broken to save.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more amazing stories.